Starbucks.
You can drink it live. Hey, guys, Jason is complaining about how he doesn't care about the environment and he doesn't know why we have paper straws. I agree with you. Paper straws are ridiculous.
I know why. The question is why my wife, let me turn this hockey game down, has paper straws in the house. Who has paper straws in your house? I don't know. And they're like sparkly. You can't see that.
That's no way to live.
You know, but this drink
I'm
was
living a
delivered.
Similar thing. I'm drinking out of my girlfriend's shaker cup. So
why does that look like
one
a
of my
baby?
sons?
What?
Dude, that bottle looks like
a
baby water bottle or something.
It does.
No, it's big.
It looks like they're like.
Nah.
Okay, that the other.
I saw the Shift 4 cup. That was pretty good.
I got it.
Brag.
All right, folks. In 8 minutes, we got an event. Robinhood, you're looking at 4 OG Hood investors, have been here since at least $20. We are excited to be covering this company. We got 8 minutes. I'll start off with you, Jason, as you're kind of the guest on these Hood streams for the first time. What are your thoughts on what we get tonight?
You know, I don't really, in terms of the price, I guess, if that's what I think personally, I look at price first. That's just like my natural reaction. I'm interested to see like what the longer term vision is though, because I think that the event contracts are nice. They're cool. I think that they were a big move, but it's only like a small move. It's like one stepping stone to get to the longer term goal, if you will. And so I'm interested to hear like how are they going to really expand on this and not just be, a sports betting thing. Like it's nice to bet on games and stuff like that, but can we really take this and let's say be bigger than a poly market? And what's the plan to do that? Because I think beating poly market is just a small, again, stepping stone. But what would that need to look like moving forward? Because there's a lot of potential here for sure. And then as far as AI is concerned, I would love to have, I'm just really interested to see what they're going to do moving forward. Because there's so much cool stuff that is possible, but they haven't really launched anything yet. So I want to know what's available for me. So,
and that's what this event is all about. More than for us investors, it's actual product, like all the cool things that they're building.
Tanner, your thoughts on what to expect?
Hopefully it has something to do with the new acquisition. It might be a little early, however. So, but that's my hope, is that they end up stepping away from Kalshi and offering their own solution, lowering the cost from 2 cents down to hopefully like a half cent or something like this to really compete against Kalshi. Whenever you look at Kalshi's volume, which, they're the giant in this space, Robinhood makes up for like half of that. Like they're a huge player. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what are the new contracts. I think that'll continue to expand. Essentially every week, they're going to continue to add new predictions and as more users come onto the platform. But how are they going to be able to better the costs so then they do what they do with every single product line, which is compete on price and essentially hopefully get down to commission free or something like this so users use them more often?
Roy, your thoughts on tonight?
Yeah, building off of what Tanner said, I think that they'll show us what that further evolution is of the Susquehanna partnership / acquisition that they just did. Robinhood, when they acquire something, they've given the map already. It's because they know exactly where they're going. They know what they can build and what they're capable of internally. And when they see something that accelerates that roadmap, they buy it. And they've done very well with acquisitions as well. So they're not just like, yeah, maybe we'll think about doing this. And it's not just for, saving the money that they're paying Kalshi or they're sharing with Kalshi. I think that predictions market is very new. Devin Ryan, kind of posted a little chart and said it's very early. It is. We have no idea what this space is going to look like really a year from now, much less 5 years. But I think Robinhood is going to give us a glimpse. And I'm very excited about that. probably, you know, I think it started out as an AI event, and then they added that on just because they saw this opportunity in the market and space. So probably showing off some more Cortex stuff that's going to be really fascinating. Love that at Vegas that they showed. And I just had the synopsis stuff with Cortex, but man, it's great. So
see, I think the opposite. I think it's going to be way more prediction stuff. It's called yes, no.
Now. It is now. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it used to be.
That business is growing like 10x year over year. I mean, it's barely been out for a year. So I agree with Tanner on that. It was supposed to be an AI event. It was supposed to only be online. That's what they told us 5 months ago, or 4 months ago in September.
Yeah.
Turned into a in-person event in California. And I think we all just need to acknowledge this is the 4th event in less than a year for a company that's not Amazon or Google or Nvidia. It's $100 billion company. Like, the level of innovation here and just like pedal to the metal, it's just exciting to witness. It really is.
Yeah, this is not a fireside chat. They're not reiterating what they've been doing. Every single event, they're launching something new. Like, and on top of that, though, I don't know what they're going to do for the AI side, but the Cortex solutions that they've shown us so far, like even in their last event, were super interesting. I'm curious if they're going to talk about some Cortex or AI solutions in the banking side as well. Obviously, there can be a lot of personalization stuff done there, but it's still only really in a beta. So I'm curious how that's going to go.
Did you said you got approved for that too, right, Amit?
Approved for what?
The bank.
Yeah.
Did you start it?
Yeah, it's legit. The only problem is I can't set up direct deposit because they don't have a business account. But outside of that, the app itself is, I'm just going to take my money.
You can't set up direct deposit because they don't have a business account?
Yeah, because
you don't have a personal account?
No. I have a personal banking account, but none of my money runs through that anyway.
You got to look internally.
Oh.
Yeah, because with the IRS, if you're going to get business income, it has to go to a business account. So I can take money from that and throw it into the Robinhood account. But the actual account itself is phenomenal. I mean, I've been using it for the past week, and it's legit. It's a legit experience. So it should be fun. It should be really cool. I think my thoughts are what I would love to see. I don't know if we'll see this, but I want a desktop version of prediction markets. Like, I really want to see a user, because Kalshi, a lot of times I go to Kalshi just to look at the odds because I don't feel like checking my phone. So, and Kalshi is just easily on the desktop. So I think that would be awesome. For AI, they already showed us a lot of AI stuff. So I don't know how they're going to one up it, but they're going to have to. And
you know what I've been thinking about too is that as an options trader, every major brokerage has their options specific platform. And I know Hood's trying to do the legends, but all of the other major brokers, whether it's TD, like Schwab with TOS or Power E-Trade or IBK or Workstation or whatever, they're all separate desktop applications. I feel like if Legends is going to have like some kind of real sticking power, it probably needs to be a native desktop app also. So, I mean, if they go somewhere with that, then maybe Cortex can build a lot better. And it'd be really cool. Like, if they could ever legitimately do those suggested option trades, like these are your best setups, like for options, the best pricing, the best whatever, based on whatever you put into like a screener, if you will, and say, I'm looking for this Cortex. Can you find me this type of trade? Amit wants to go long Nebius for the next year and a half. What's the best leap debit spread I can do? Type it out and have it pop out. That would be amazing if they could ever get that done.
It would be such a big deal because people would be screenshotting those. Like, it would be huge if they could contextually give you trade. Now, they would have to get through the whole recommendation stuff with the SEC.
I don't even think it's that hard because that stuff exists, right? That stuff really exists today. So if anybody can do it, Hood should be able to do it. I mean, that's probably not what we're going to hear tonight, but one day when that comes, it would be cool. Oh, look at Evan in the house.
Yeah. Well, so one of the best things about these events too, even though there's 4 rather than 3 as last year, there's no filler, there's no fluff. It's just, and we have no idea. Like, they always throw out surprises. They always shock us. I think this one's going to be very interactive. We don't even know how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
It might be 30 minutes, might be 45, might be an hour. They rented out a whole venue though. So this is like a legit event.
Where is it?
It's in California. I think it's at the Skywalker Ranch is where they're doing that.
Oh, LA.
No, Bay Area.
Luke Skywalker.
No, there's a
like
different
the like
Okay.
Like, it's
I
like an
do
hour
like
up.
for the desktop solution though, that I hope is what's also going to come. New ways to trade as well. Obviously, more complex trades. More economic stuff as well. I hope that they continue to build that out. I know Polymarket has the ability to bet on analyst EPS predictions. There's some interesting plays there, almost like arbitrage on certain stocks. Like SoFi is the one that I continue to go back to. And there was, whenever I was looking at the actual contract, it said there's a 70% chance if SoFi was going to beat 8 cents of EPS. Well, personally for me, I had done the numbers. They were going to crush that number. And it was a 70% chance. So what, am I going to hold the stock for a 30% upside, or actually from 70 to 100? I think it was like 42% upside on that contract. Or should I hold, SoFi common shares? Obviously it's a shorter duration, like could expire worthless, but I had really high conviction. Oh, it looks like we're getting started here.
Yeah, same thing. Like that would be it's such an easy layup too. Like it makes so much sense. So simple. I mean, why not? Skywalker Ranch, Marin County. It's not even that far from me. I would be there.
Yeah,
Where's
I'm telling
my,
you, it's in
where's
Northern
my invite, Vladdy? I need this.
Right, I am excited. I am excited.
Yeah, the ominous spin, no music, no nothing.
There
Here we
it is.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Robinhood Chairman and CEO, Vlad Tenev.
Welcome to Skywalker Ranch. Can you believe that this is our fifth event this year? We've been busy. And although we've done a lot, there is one topic that we have yet to cover. Who here thinks we are not alone in the universe? That there's extraterrestrial life out there? Let's see those paddles. Yes or no? All right. Looks like we have a lot of believers. Now, here's the interesting part. You can price that belief. If you open the Robinhood app and search aliens, you'll see a Robinhood prediction market that quantifies this exact question. Will the US government confirm that aliens exist in 2027? Right now, the market is putting that at about a 19% chance of yes. I was actually shocked when I saw that it was that high. Anyway, this is just one of over 1,500 prediction markets live on Robinhood today across sports, entertainment, and world affairs. In less than a year, there have already been over 10 billion contracts traded. So what's actually going on here? Tonight isn't just about exploring the big questions of cosmic significance, although we love doing that. It's about a bigger shift in what Robinhood is becoming and how 3 key new pieces of Robinhood are going to converge to drive this change. So let's get started. And the way I'd like to begin is by talking a bit about prediction markets, why we find them so interesting, why they're resonating so much right now, and why we believe we're in the early stages of a super cycle for this burgeoning asset class. And as of today, you can access our prediction markets on the web. Up until now, you've only been able to see them if you were logged in on mobile, which was great for traders, but now they're accessible to everyone. And I have to say, they look pretty sweet. So here's what many consider to be the most consequential prediction market: next Fed decision. It affects pretty much everything. Did anyone go to the pump today, by the way, or did you guys all drive EVs here? As you can get a sense of this by looking at all the markets, prediction markets dramatically increase the breadth of what's tradable on Robinhood. Look at all these categories that are available. We've gone from one contract to thousands in just 1 year. And over the coming years, we could get to tens of thousands or more. More recently, we added weather contracts like this one for the holidays. So it looks like our New York friends have a decent chance of snow on Christmas this year. Interesting, huh? Prediction markets also allow you to monetize your expertise and your personal areas of interest. How many people are gamers in the audience and feel like they know more about gaming than the average person? Great. We have markets for you. What about AI? Is anyone studying AI model progress and capability? Great. This is one of the most innovative areas to watch right now. We have a whole category exploring exactly this. And who can tell me when the next Star Wars movie is going to hit theaters? Okay. Well, for us Star Wars fans, or maybe just me, this one's a bit of a freebie because it's been announced already. But it looks like 8% of people don't trust the Hollywood timelines. So when we talk about democratizing trading, it's not just about giving people access to what the elites have. It's also about making trading more personal and enabling people to trade what really matters to them, especially in cases where they would feel confident going against conventional wisdom or where they may have a unique edge. Like in this example for music fans. Another thing we love about prediction markets is you can zero in your trade on a hyper-specific outcome in a way that can be difficult to do with stocks. Let's say you're convinced that a certain company is going to hit a very specific milestone, like Tesla delivering 400,000 or more cars. So you buy some shares, the company hits that milestone, and the stock goes down. Has anyone experienced that? Well, with prediction markets, you can invest solely in the outcome itself without having to worry about other exogenous factors that may affect the stock price. Warner Brothers acquisition is another great example that's happening right now. But the thing about the prediction markets that excites me the most is that they generate a valuable forecast that's useful to everyone, not just traders. There's a lot of information in the world. You're getting it at all hours from so many different sources. But if you follow the money, you tend to get the truth. And we saw this most clearly in the market that started it all, the 2024 presidential election. We offer a much wider array of political contracts today. So even if you don't want to trade these, prediction markets help you make sense of the world and see where the wisdom of the crowd stands on a very particular issue. And this is what's most exciting to us about this product. Just browsing it like we're doing now makes you smarter and more informed. So it's for these reasons that I believe we're at the very beginning of a prediction market supercycle. And as it progresses, we should expect to see adoption and volumes continuing to grow, potentially into the trillions of contracts traded each year. Our competitors scrambling to follow and figure out how to offer these products or risk becoming insignificant. And this is a big one, significant disruption of multiple industries, not just trading. Earlier, I showed one of the many weather contracts we offer on the platform. Here's another one. Some people have already started to realize that using prediction markets can be cheaper than conventional fire, flood, and hurricane insurance. You can just place a trade on your phone without having to deal with a traditional broker. And I'm sure the $8 trillion insurance industry is starting to pay attention to this. So I think prediction markets are going to change the world for the better. Perhaps they already have. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't mentioned or showed the most popular category of prediction markets on Robinhood. Any guesses? Exactly, sports. Well, we've been cooking especially hard on sports for our sports fans. So let's get Grace and Adam to the stage, who will show you how we're redefining the sports experience on Robinhood. Come on up, guys.
All right, thanks, Vlad. So Adam and I were debating backstage whether this is a prediction markets crowd.
You know, Grace thinks it's less than half of the people here, but I think this is a prediction market crowd. I'd actually take the other side of that trade, and I actually think about 80% of you here have actually traded prediction markets.
Well, that's quite bullish. And Adam, we know you're not great with predictions. So since we have a full house here today, why don't we ask the audience with your paddle, hold up a yes if you've traded prediction markets before. Wow.
Look at that. Look at that, Grace. I'm not saying I called it, but I definitely called it. This is a prediction markets crowd. I'm curious, though, of those who have traded, how many of you have used our sports markets? Okay, great. That's a lot of people here. Now, we're here today to show you some of the most requested enhancements for you. So, Grace, why don't you take it away?
All right, so I know many of you guys are passionate about sports, and in the last few months, we have completely reimagined the sports experience. To access prediction markets, you're probably used to accessing it from the home screen, but we've introduced another way for you to explore sports. Now, when you go to search, you'll see an elevated search experience. From there, you can navigate to the brand new Sports Hub, and here you'll find everything in one place. Live games, upcoming games, and a quick way to navigate to any sport or league that you're interested in. I see here that there's a San Antonio, New York game happening in pro basketball right now. Why don't we take the audience there?
Sure. You know, Grace, one thing I was say, it's a big game.
Yeah.
It's a championship game. It's not the championship game, but it's a championship game.
You know what they say, a trophy's a trophy, right? So what Adam is showing you is the elevated and enhanced game page, which shows you real-time scores, live trading activity, and a really easy way to trade winners, spreads, and totals. In addition to the Sports Hub and the game page, we have also recently added 3 new things. First, limit orders, which allow you to set your entry and exit price. Second, game notifications, so you'll never miss a game start or a close game. And third and last, our new daily sports newsletter from Sherwood Media called Scoreboard. If you want to subscribe, you can actually screen grab the QR code that's right behind me. But there's even more to show. So Adam, why don't you take it from here?
Thanks, Grace. So one of the other areas we wanted to show you is how this works across different sports. And what I'm going to do is let's go to the Thursday game between LA and Seattle. And you'll see here, we have all the same enhancements that Grace just showed you that you saw from the pro basketball game. But we didn't stop there. Starting today, we're rolling out 2 new features that many of you have been requesting. First, something we've heard from everybody is player markets. Yeah. Now you can trade event contracts based on individual player performance, not just the result of the game. That means you can trade whether a player is going to score a touchdown, how many passing yards, receiving yards, or rushing yards they'll have for a specific game. So if you're watching a game thinking, Puka's definitely getting in the end zone, or maybe Smith the Jigba has been explosive recently, he's going to have more than 100 receiving yards, you could trade those views. So Grace, I got another question for you. Who you watching in this game?
Well, recently I've been liking Williams.
Williams? All right, let's put a trade on Williams. Let me just navigate here and just say that Williams is going to score a touchdown. So I'm going to go ahead and click on any. And you'll see it brings up typical buy order here. I'm gonna go ahead and let's buy it. And then Grace, for this example, why don't we go ahead and just buy $10 worth of this contract? You can see it's gonna pay out $20. We'll go ahead and review it, swipe up, and boom, there you have it. We're now long. That's pretty cool, right, Grace?
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Next up, for those of you who are looking for more ways to trade, we're excited to launch what we call preset combos, which are just below the player contracts down here. These, for those of you that may not know, combos involve combining multiple events into one contract that allow you to get in at a lower entry price for a higher potential payout. Preset combos are curated, ready-made combinations that involve trading the winner and the total for the specific game. So if I think that LA is going to win and they're going to score more than over 44.5 points, I can go ahead and I can select it. In the similar fashion of what I just showed you, I could go ahead and hit the buy button. Let's put another $10 on this trade. You can see it's going to pay out 35 if correct. Again, I'll review it, swipe up, and now I currently have 35 contracts for this particular combo. And the beauty of these preset combos is they're fast, approachable, and a perfect entry point for anyone who wants something more dynamic than a single outcome event. Both player contracts and preset combos are coming to Pro Football First, and we'll start rolling out today. And if you're live in the audience, you'll be getting access to them right now.
All right, Adam. So what if someone wants full control? What if I want to craft my own combo?
You know, Grace, I had a feeling you'd say something like that.
I think we came prepared with a solution. So
Dude, this is
the moment
big.
you've been waiting for, custom combos are coming. Let me show you how that will work. So Adam, who's your favorite to win this Thursday's game?
You know, Grace, I'm from Chicago, and I don't like either of these teams.
Jeez.
But for the sake of this demo, I think we'll go with LA. I think LA is going to win.
Okay, so from being from LA, I think that's the right choice. All right, any thoughts on total points scored?
You know, I think they're going to score a lot of points in this game. I'm going to go ahead and select the over, but that shows 44.5. But you know what? I actually think they're going to score more than that. I'm going to actually change this and move this over to 47.5.
All right, why don't we add one more leg? Who do you think will score a touchdown?
You know, I know we traded Williams earlier, but I think Puka is going to get in the end zone in that game. So why don't we select him?
And just for fun, why don't you throw on a couple more legs?
Why not, right? We're having fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's maybe throw Smith the Jigma in there, and let's just say Cup. Let's just see if he can get in the end zone too.
Awesome. So what Adam just showed there is the power of custom combos. You can mix and match the exact outcomes you believe in across players, teams, spreads, totals, and turn your unique read of the game into a trade. Best of all, custom combos are coming in January in time for the playoffs. So what we showed today, combos, really lay a groundwork for a new era of prediction markets. They will begin within single games, but we plan on bringing them across games and ultimately across entire categories. Imagine mixing your predictions in sports, culture, politics, really any category into one trade. This is really just the beginning of prediction markets here at Robinhood, and we're incredibly excited for what's ahead. And with that, thank you, and back to you, Vlad.
All right, give them a round of applause. For all us sports fans, you no longer need all these pesky sports apps. You can do everything in your financial super app of choice. So Grace and Adam have illustrated the power of combos, the ability to put multiple predictions together into one custom trade. We're starting with sports, but we see a world where two things happen, quite possibly rather quickly. Number one, you should expect the number and variety of prediction markets on the platform to increase at a rapid rate. Remember, we started from one and we've gone to thousands in just the past year. And second, you'll be able to combine any of them into a custom trade that can be priced for you in real time. What all this means is that you'll be able to trade and hedge pretty much anything. Now, at this point, you may be thinking, this might get a little complicated, right? How will I make sense of tens, potentially hundreds of thousands of markets and millions of potential combinations of all these different markets? Not to mention all the stocks, options, and cryptos that are already available on Robinhood. That's where Robinhood Cortex comes in. So, less than 1 year ago, when we first introduced our in-house financial intelligence, we promised that it would make its way through the entire Robinhood experience. Today, we're excited to deliver on that and show you what Robinhood looks like when you can talk directly to Cortex. This is going to be really exciting. So we have three of our top minds sitting right here who will show you what's rolling out in the coming months. Starting with the man who you may remember from Hood Summit, the mythical Sam Nordstrom. Come on up.
Thanks, Vlad. Excited to be back up here. Over the past year, we've been rolling out Cortex Digest to all of our gold customers, expanding coverage to more than 1,000 stocks, cryptocurrencies, and recently, ETFs. Who here has been using Cortex Digests? Raise your paddles if you found them helpful. Wow, that's awesome. A lot of green. But there's one important digest that's still missing, particularly for those of us who are diversification hounds. To give you a hint, I'll tell you how I use Robinhood each day. I open up the app, I check my portfolio movement, I scan through my positions to find out what's driving it and what's moving so that I can figure out where to focus. So what would make this much easier for me would be a digest for my, any guesses? All right, I think you guys got it. Introducing Portfolio Digests. Portfolio Digest is your own personalized portfolio briefing. It decodes what moved in your portfolio, why it happened, and what's coming next, delivered directly in app. Let's take a look. From the portfolio page, I can find digests below the chart in a new section devoted to summarizing the highlights in my portfolio. Here, I'll see top movers, drivers, key events, and a portfolio digest every time one is available for me to read. Tapping in, I can see how my portfolio is performing relative to my benchmarks. For me, the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, and a summary of how my portfolio is performing that day. Below, I get an explanation of the macro factors that are impacting my portfolio. Today, it looks like there's some mixed economic data that's weighing down markets and my portfolio a bit, but Bitcoin has gained due to supportive technicals. Cortex also identifies the top drivers and movers in my account. Today, I can see that Microsoft and Tesla are driving up my portfolio returns, while Meta and Doge are moving the most. And for each, I get a summary of how it moved, what caused it to do so, and how it relates to my portfolio. Finally, it also highlights upcoming events that could impact my returns. And if any of these correspond to a stock or event contract on Robinhood, I can drill in directly from here to find out more. Since we've been testing Portfolio Digest, it has completely changed how I use Robinhood. Now, the first thing I do is dive into my digest to see what's happening and where to focus. But this is just the beginning of what we're rolling out with Cortex. Here to share a little more is our very own Oren Nahum. Let's give him some applause and get him pumped up to come up here. So, Oren, any feedback from using Portfolio Digest this past month?
You know I'm a fan, so that's an easy question, but I think you missed a little Easter egg there. Can you go back for a second?
Yeah.
Scroll up for a second. That graph, Sam, that graph looks familiar.
That's a good eye. If anyone here watched our Hood Summit broadcast, you'll recall that our customers voted on the 2 features that they wanted most back in the app this coming year. And while it's only been a couple months since, we're excited to be bringing back portfolio comparison tracking within digests.
That's awesome. One more question before you leave. What about strategy, Sam?
Another good question. Well, as you should know, as a strategies customer, you get human-generated insights directly from our very non-AI team of human experts who manage your portfolio already into what's driving their decisions and what's going on in your portfolio. But now, you also get Cortex-generated AI digests into what's happening in your portfolio, and these are paired with human-written explanations of the strategic purpose that each asset serves in your portfolio and why we're holding it.
That's awesome. Humans and AI living peacefully together. Give it up for Sam Nordstrom. All right, so before we move forward and show you the next generation of Robinhood Cortex, we thought it would be interesting to share a little bit more about how it all began. You see, Cortex didn't start out as a financial assistant. It actually began as a support bot, and to be honest, not a very good one. It could answer basic questions, mostly pulling content out of our help center, but not much more than that. It wasn't very different from what you see from most support bots out there today. But we kept working on it. First, we plugged it into internal systems and your account data. So now Cortex knows you. It knows your portfolio, your positions, even things like your cost basis, all in real time. So we can design it to help you understand exactly what's impacting your portfolio and make better decisions. Now, to do this well, we needed more than just your account information. Since Cortex is built for trading, it had to be incredibly accurate. This means grounding every answer in high-quality sources, like real-time market data or analyst reports. You see, other agents just aren't built for this. As great as these generic models are, we saw them fail miserably on real-time financial benchmarks. ChatGPT, for example, failing 97 out of 100 screener questions. It all comes down to missing data. And so we have these 2 qualities we haven't seen in other financial AI products: highly specific personalization and real-time accuracy. But Cortex needed one other thing to be really useful, and that's the ability to take action, whether it's setting up a trade or just changing an account setting, doing this seamlessly all through conversation. Now, the best way to see how this all comes together is really just to show you. And so for that, let's bring up Girish Gupta on stage.
Thanks, Oren. All right. Until now, Cortex has been behind the scenes, powering AI experiences across Robinhood. Today, for the first time, you get to meet Cortex, your personal financial assistant inside the Robinhood app. Now, Cortex is not just advanced intelligence for your money. It's also an incredibly natural way to use Robinhood. How's my Microsoft investment doing? You can type or speak your questions to Cortex, but I guarantee you, once you start talking to your portfolio, you'll never go back. Now, Cortex knows right off the bat, my Microsoft position is down about 8%. It's not a good look in this market. And right under that, I see some quick hits on what's been driving the price. But I think I need to find something with some more upside. Help me find some stocks that have been unfairly punished by the market, large caps only. Now, this is something I struggle with all the time, going from idea to trade. Cortex can help me do it in a few questions. First, Cortex is going to figure out what I mean by unfairly punished. It's going to use its access to real-time data to set up some filters, things like implied volatility, volume, analyst ratings, PE ratios, and then it's going to use those filters to scan the universe of stocks and pick out 5 names that I should take a look at. It lays them all out right here in this table with some really interesting data that I should take a look at. Now, check this out. Right below the answer, Cortex is going to help me go deeper. It's laid out some related questions like this one. Compare the 3-month performance of these stocks to Microsoft. Now, this is something that I haven't seen any other AI in the market do. It's going to take the 3-month performance of the stocks that I screened for and compare it to something I own, and then lay it all out in this beautiful and interactive comparison chart. And check this out. I can scrub all the way back to the beginning of the year and see how all of these stocks have performed. But taking a look at this view, it seems like Oracle's taken a beating lately. I wonder if now's a good time to get in. Run a technical analysis on Oracle. Now, Cortex cares about data and accuracy, and it does it fast. Right here, I get a full technical picture. We got the trend breakdowns, momentum indicators, volatility, things like levels that I need to pay attention to, including the support zone and resistance zone. So who wants to see something really cool? Yeah. All right, okay. It's a demo, guys. All right, let's try this. Buy 2 shares of Oracle when it drops below 180. All right, this is my favorite thing that Cortex can do. From just a simple voice command, it lays up a limit order for me with the number of shares, the limit price, the session, the time in force, all here for me to review. I hit submit, and now my order is ready to execute. Pretty cool. So let's talk about some other things that Cortex can do. Who here is a football fan? Yeah, okay, some of you. I'm from New York, so those of you who follow football probably know that my team has a less than 1% chance of making it all the way this year. But I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is going to go all the way? Let's use those paddles again. Now, who out there thinks that LA is going to win the big game? Okay, there's a good number of yeses out there. Let's see what Cortex thinks. Who's going to win the Pro Football Championship? Now, Grace and Adam told you how we scaled to thousands of contracts on this platform. But finding that right one with the insight that you need is where Cortex shines. Check this out. Right here, we can see that LA has the highest chance of going all the way this year. Pretty sweet. Okay, so that's just a fraction of what Cortex can do. Answer your support questions, help you turn ideas into trades, help you go deep on your portfolio, or lean into the prediction markets. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got some exciting surprises for our advanced traders coming soon. Hey, Vlad, anything you want to ask Cortex?
That was really exciting, but I've been hanging out in the audience, and everyone is still thinking about the aliens thing. So,
Yep.
So this is what everyone's interested in hearing about. let's say the audience is right. The government does announce there are aliens in the next year. How will that impact my portfolio? Or I guess in this case, your portfolio.
Let's see. How will aliens impact my portfolio? Now,
Have you seen The Age of Disclosure, Girish?
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
All right.
Now, Cortex isn't going to give us personalized advice or recommendations, but it will call out some strategies for us to look at. Check it out.
Okay, let's see. All right, got some potential beneficiaries, technology spillovers. I think this looks credible, but what I'd really like to see is that summarized, and can it be done in a Yoda voice?
Ooh.
Try that.
All right, let's give it a shot.
You guys see Yoda up front? Pretty
Simplify
cool,
that and answer it like Yoda.
This is really putting it to the super intelligence test.
Here we go.
Ah, no data on aliens the markets have. So all is guesswork this is.
Sounds wiser already.
Did Cortex do that?
All right. Thank you all. I hope you all enjoy talking to Cortex as much as I do.
Thank you, Girish. By the way, the team has assured me that they'll be delivering portfolio digests and the all-new Cortex experience in time for my birthday, which is February 13th of next year. You might have noticed right before Valentine's Day, right? So for those of us looking for financial companionship, maybe Cortex will be helpful as well. So over time, we see Cortex helping you with everything around your financial life. You know, we're starting with analyzing trades, but we can see it helping you plan for big goals and eventually even things like taxes and estate planning. And if you take Cortex, prediction markets, and Robinhood Social, which you saw a few weeks back at the Hood Summit, Robinhood will become not just the place that you execute your trades, but also the source of the idea and the inspiration behind that trade, a place where you get smarter about money. One of the best sources for financial information and education in the world. And most importantly, a community where we can learn from one another. All right, I know what you're thinking. You want to do the paddle thing one last time. It's fun, isn't it? So who's excited to try out the new products? And let us know how we can keep making them better and better. Oh, how about that? I wanted to end with an auction, but George Lucas wouldn't let us sell the Yoda out front. All right, so thank you for making this our best year ever. And we're not done yet. We actually have something pretty special for you coming up. Hood Holidays are launching on December 25th, right inside your Robinhood app. So whether you're looking for something to do after opening presents or instead of opening presents, check out your favorite financial super app on late Christmas Day. All right, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Okay, that was the event. Tanner, we'll start with you.
Prediction markets, man. I mean, anyone can have their opinion on whether or not. I saw a lot of comments, people saying that they don't want this in their app. I think that there should be a way to disable it if you don't want that as a part of your investing app. But overall, if you're interested in how Robinhood makes more money, this is going to make them a lot more money. And the complexity of the orders, it on desktop, more contracts coming. It's everything that we wanted to see. So that was very interesting. Combos. Can't say parlay. Do not call it a parlay. It's a combo. And custom combos coming soon. I think it's awesome.
Real quick before I
Cortex,
continue,
I don't care about the Yoda voice stuff.
Before we continue, there was some breaking news during the event. Amazon looking to invest $10 billion into OpenAI, and OpenAI planning to use their custom chips. Not confirmed from either company, but that's why Amazon is pumping after hours. Roy, your thoughts on the event?
You're muted, brother.
Cortex stuff was really fascinating. For me, that was a highlight. No like huge or shattering surprises there, but it's really good. I love the digest, like specific to you. I'll be using that quite often. I love that you can actually speak to it and have it do things or inform you as well. And this is not going to be like the end use case of this product. Like even though they showed the 3 levels of the pyramid, they're going to continue to expand more. The predictions market side, it's accretive. I think that they launched a lot of things. I'm not, into that type of market, especially on the sports side, but I've those features that they launched, a number of them, people have wanted and demanded, and I'm sure Jason will talk about more of that in a little bit too. So I don't know that this needed to necessarily be an event, but the market seems to like it. I like it too. And so, yeah, good.
Jason, outside of you officially being replaced with Cortex.
Oh, dude, not even close, man.
I don't know if we can do Technical Tuesday anymore, to be honest.
Yeah,
but...
sure. Go for it. Let me know how that works out for you guys. But
dude, AI is coming for all of us. AI is coming for all of us.
I think it was funny. Those some of those simulations were not bad, right? I would look at it and I'm like, why would I need something to tell me? First of all, the Cortex stuff, cool, I guess, if you're really like not an active trader. To me, like we all of us here on the screen will know that stuff. Like, boom, I don't need something to tell me that. It's cool to be able to do that. But for the average person, I think maybe it has some uses. Still got to check accuracy. The one thing that he did that people are probably not gonna understand, that's gonna make a massive difference. I mean, fracking massive. Like, you guys have no idea what he just dropped. Literally zero clue. But this thing about player props, custom prop bets, double the market, double the sports betting market for the next. We're not in the playoffs. Double it. Double whatever they just did on event contracts, straight up. And if they can, like, that's such a big deal. I just don't think people will not, they will just not understand. They will not understand. It's not gambling. You think you want to see gambling, you go to the stock market. That is the adult casino. This is not really any different, right?
So hold on.
You know what? It definitely is gambling.
No, okay, hold on. Let's get into this conversation, because honestly, this is where the chat was going crazy. So we might as well have the conversation. Let's start with you, Jason. Make your case. Do you think people should feel a moral or ethical issue with?
I think ignorance is bliss here in this situation. When you don't know, you assume, right? And you assume that with whatever the popular thing is, right? But it's just the fact that if you don't know how real sports look, I run an active community with a sports betting section. Like, we have hundreds of people that are sports betting large dollars. I'm not talking small dollars, large dollars, just as much as other people will do in trades, which is the same thing, and in the option in the stock market. But nobody like lotto gamble. Like, there are some, but just as much as you would in any other stock market. The stock market is gambling if you're going to consider this gambling. But people that put real money,
that's not true.
It is.
That is not true.
It is.
You invest and you buy into the ownership of companies, and the high majority, over 80% of the money that's in the markets, have been created by the stocks themselves through dividends and buybacks. That is not true.
It's true. When we talk about trading,
the way you might invest, that might be true, but the way that I invest, holding companies over years and years and years, that's just not true.
You're talking about something different. I'm talking about trading.
Yeah, but you said investing is gambling. I'm
okay.
Say trading if you want to say trading.
He said the stock market. He said the stock market could be gambling.
The stock market, if you're trading, it's all based on very simple. When you get real and you put real money down and you do this for a living, this is all based on probabilities and statistics. The same
which is what gambling means. It just means you're betting on chance with money. You might have an advantage. I'm not saying you don't have that in sports, but this is gambling. You don't have ownership. There's
gambling.
Go ahead.
If this is gambling, then what's the stock market? Like, how is it any different?
I have ownership in companies that have shareholder yields.
How's that not a gamble? You're gambling on someone else's success. Like it's you might be an investment.
But my chance of winning, or everyone's chance of winning, is higher than 50%. It can be a win-win. There doesn't actually need to be a loser.
Well, look, Tanner,
what are you talking about?
There's not always a 50-50 odd on a prediction market.
I know, but there has to be a loser on the other end. In the stock market, we could all buy into
on the other end of an options market.
Yeah, that's a gamble. I'm not. You're changing my argument. I'm saying buying into companies. If you buy into, everyone buys into a tobacco company and they're giving us dividends, that's not a gamble.
It's a gamble.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Those dividends are, especially dividend kings, are sure and expected. They're periodic, episodic.
There's not a single Warren Buffett of gambling.
It's the same mentality as, like, if you were a rich dude and somebody went to you and they're like, hey, I want to create a lemonade stand, and you invest in them. That's not gambling. All risk is not gambling. And so, yeah, I think you can make that argument, like, for day trading, certainly swing trading maybe as well. But yeah, long-term investing is not. And I don't think.
I think that the word gambling clearly has some kind of connotation here, and I think that people that don't understand the sports market are just you have to admit that you don't understand it. So why do you have an opinion? You think it's gambling? It's not.
No. I'm not saying that you can't have an information advantage and have an upper hand against another person. That doesn't make it not a gamble.
It does. Well, it makes it.
You might have the edge, but then you're taking that money away. You're just playing a game of chance. That's what gambling means. Like I'm okay with it being a gamble. I'm not anti them selling this product or allowing people to, like, I don't care that it's gambling, but I don't understand the argument of, this is not gambling. Well, then what the heck is gambling?
You have an edge, right? It's just like an option market, which is where, or even,
which I would also consider gambling.
Okay. Thank you. So that's perfect. So we're probably, you and me, Tanner, by the way, I'm pretty sure in reality are likely in violent agreement on this whole scenario. It's just the terminology, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe the definition of.
I don't know why we can't just call it gambling and then move on.
I'm trying to say it's not. Just don't put it in a giant bucket. There are probabilities, statistics. There's real money that Robinhood has not been able to touch from a sports betting perspective, because they don't have like enough options. They don't have the real edges. This is a massive move for them to be able to literally double the event contracts coming into the biggest few months stretch of the year. Every year, we're talking December, January, February, January, February, playoffs, finals, all of that. NBA, we're about to have NHL. It's going to get big. And whether or not you consider it gambling or not, or if you have an edge or not, doesn't matter. It's all a specified risk that people choose to take. I do think you got a great suggestion. Like, look, I think that Robinhood should say, if I don't want this in my app, I should be able to disable it and hide it. That's probably a really good thing. But at the same time, people that want it or just want the exposure, that just doubled their potential TAM, if you will, for that one specific piece. But that one specific piece is what's driving a lot of revenue right now. And player props, I'm just saying that if they have their own broker and they can maybe even make a little bit on this bid-ask spread, that's their business. They're a market maker, right? If they're just making markets in this area, that's a big deal. So I'm
Jason, when you said it's not gambling, I think your argument was the mainstream narrative of that word is connotated with something very negative, right? Most people are down on it, and 100%. That's why you're refuting it. But if Tanner, you're in agreement that a large majority of the market that Robinhood makes a lot of their revenue from, options and crypto, which I feel like Bitcoin's a little bit more risky than some of these prediction markets, are also gambling, then it's more so you guys agree on the term, you disagree on the negative connotation. So I guess
Yeah.
a question for you.
I don't think it's the same as investing in stocks, but also I don't like. I let adults make adult decisions. Like I don't care that Robinhood offers it, and if it impacts the revenue and the earnings of this company as an investor, I love the fact that they offer it because it means
So
more
let's ask that question, because a lot of people in the chat had this concern that they are now actively leaning into, let's just call it gambling, if that's a trading, gambling, whatever, prediction markets. Is that a good thing or bad thing, Tanner?
I think that there should be an ability to disable it for those that don't want to use it.
Already is.
But and I also think that for certain hedging events and stuff like this, if I believe, I'll use the SoFi or bank example where you can invest in a financial institution and then also bet on a predictions market to say, hey, they're not going to cut rates. So if they do cut rates, that'd be good news for SoFi. And if they don't, well, then the prediction market would print. So there's hedging abilities there as well. But the sports side, I don't know how much hedging there's going to be there.
Yeah, there's already a way to remove it. I've talked to people that did. All you have to do is chat in, and it takes less than 5 minutes. It's permanently removed, and you don't have to look at it again. Can't even find it, actually. You have to chat in to renew it. Now, maybe they'll make it simpler than that, but 5 minutes, especially using Cortex, and probably get even faster. Probably is faster. I'm just not wanting to disable it because then I have to enable it. But this will be accretive, no doubt. It's just like the predictions market, though. It's the way that I look at this is kind of like the evolution of tobacco. Like, let's just call it gambling. I don't think all predictions markets necessarily gambling, but the sports stuff. I mean, it gets, if it quacks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's a duck. But ultimately, like, I don't think it's a beneficial thing for society at large. Not saying, let adults be adults. I agree with Tanner. I've never really liked it in one platform. That's not going to change. It's going to be done. But compared to other type of products that are out there, like the DraftKings of the world and the Vegases of the world, this is kind of like going from tobacco that's going to give you cancer and kill you and is really bad to, like, let's add some filters, or let's just give you the nicotine patch. Maybe it's not the best thing, but you're an adult. You can buy it if you want. And if you're going to choose between the nicotine patch or just get tobacco leaves and start smoking them without a filter, one is going to absolutely kill you rapidly, and the other, you're probably going to be fine, but there is some risk. If that makes sense.
Oh, that does make sense. Look, this is obviously a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. And
is it? I'm looking at it. It's like, well, as more I, like, Tanner and I went talking, and I was like, dude, I'm laughing because, like,
no, I'm not even anti it. It's just
I realized, like, halfway through that we're actually aligned, like, in terms of, like, what it is, but what some people might call gambling, I'm looking for an edge. And as a profession, look, what I do is I place, like, for a living, I place educated bets, period, as a trader. Like, that's what I do for a living. So, like, sure, people can look at it as gambling if they want to. I don't really care. But the truth of the matter is, how are people profitable as a living? Like, because we have an edge. And so if you can build an edge, I think you can choose to make it gambling or not. That's the truth. And most people don't know how to build an edge, but this gives, it's just another level coming into the peak season of sports. It's just another level that Robinhood just opened up. It's a whole new lever that was switched. That, look, running an active trading community, I'll tell you, and Roy's seen this. I don't think Amit or Tanner has seen this, but in our group, Hood maybe gets, I don't know, 30%, if that, of what they possibly could, because everybody else is realistically still using all the other places, because Hood just doesn't have the options. They don't have the right spreads. They don't have the right props. They don't have combos, parlays. It's a whole nother thing. But being able to flip another switch, it's just another revenue, like, piece that they just bolted right on.
Honestly, there could be a real conversation to say that in Q4 they're going to have more revenue from prediction markets than their equity side.
That would be
both look to
massive.
they both look to be around 80 million this quarter.
I mean, that's
Okay, so
crazy.
I have two things. Number one, so in my research I've done on prediction markets, which I've been doing a lot of research on, there is one big fundamental difference. In a sports book, you are betting against the house. They have a built-in VIG. And if you're too good, I've seen this come up in like 80 articles at this point and like a bunch of different videos I've watched, they will ban you because you can't be better than the house. With Hood or Kalshi or Polymarket, there is no banning. Yeah, you're betting against the other guy. And if you think this team's going to win, they think this team's. The Hood doesn't win if you lose. It's a very antithetical business model to success. Even the Jason, the other Jason, the DraftKings CEO on the Q3 2024 call, I was re-listening to it. He said, we ended up losing revenue this quarter because our customers were winning. So he said it in a very like intellectual way, but he's like, our customers were winning too much. They were too good at beating us.
Yeah.
Robinhood's never going to say that. They're going to say, hey, we traded 5 billion contracts and we collected a penny on each contract. And
because it's risk adjusted, right? The more people that think a certain outcome is going to happen or more money, then it's going to slowly price out like, hey, it's an 80% chance. It's an 85% chance. It's a 90% chance of happening. So
yeah, it is a totally different business model. What Hood's doing with prediction markets is just a market maker. They're a market maker.
I don't know the sports books really at all, but is there a possibility where there's an arbitrage of people taking the chances from prediction markets to then go and play the sports books if they get sort of outpriced? And is that already happening?
It happens. It's not like live thing because you'd have to have money in both places, but certain people will always jump around. They have multiple accounts because certain places have like more juice built in than others, right? The thing, then you can offset that however you want to offset it. You can buy down the spreads. It's a pretty advanced, honestly, it's very deep. Like when you get into the real world of sports betting, they go very deep. And different books have different levels of juice. You can buy it down if you want to by paying a little bit more, buy the spread down. But like when you're doing it with real money, it's a very different game. But you still have your own issue. You still have like, chance to a certain level for sure. But in terms of arbitrage with prediction markets, it usually works out about the same because that's kind of like what the market is. There are most of the times that I've seen so far, prediction markets are not necessarily better than paying the juice, if you will. That's the term. But you can offset that by live betting if you wanted to, but that's a whole nother thing.
The other thing I was going to say to build on Jason's point about having an edge, this is really important. I mean, as I've been doing my research on this industry, there are people that are making a living on prediction markets because they have an edge. Like Amazon potentially just invested 10 billion into OpenAI. They're not doing that because they're like, oh, cool, OpenAI. No, they obviously have an edge. That edge is OpenAI is going to buy a crap ton of Trainium chips, which is why they're making the investment. So if someone says, oh, they're gambling on OpenAI, it's like, no. They know something about what OpenAI is going to do for their business more than we might understand because we're not the executives at the company. And that creates an edge.
But the only difference is it's not a binary outcome.
Correct. So the binary outcome is where it becomes the gamble. But the edge reduces the probability of you losing that gamble. So most people think gambling is a coin flip. That is not true. In a majority of cases, it's true. But for those that actually understand what they're gambling on, what they're betting on, what they're trading on, if you know hockey way better than some random dude that said, oh, I'm just going to bet on a hockey team, like you probably have an edge because now anything can happen in the hockey game, which is where it creates the element of chance in the gamble, but you have a better probability. And so that's where I think it can become something where the hedge funds get involved, something where the prop trading firms get involved. Because at the end of the day, if it's a game of math and statistics, and a lot of time, these basketball games, football games, they're a game of math and stats. Like there is an entire sports industry based on analytics.
Just the most basic one. If I'm playing football, right, I can look at two defensive lines, add up the weight of all of their players. If one line has 2,000 pounds of weight and the other one has 1,000 pounds of weight, who's going to have an advantage? Is it a big advantage? Actually, yeah. So it's literally that simple. Like you find these little things, like just like that that's a hard statistic. You can't mess with that, right? One offensive line is double the weight of the other, right? Or whatever.
Well, I definitely think that makes a lot of sense if the prediction. Of course, I believe you in the. I'm not defending edge at all. Of course, you can. If you know a certain industry, you're going to have an advantage. But that makes more sense if the market is 50-50. But if the sports betting was like 70-30, well, what does that weight difference mean?
So perfect example. So the Giants were going against the Patriots last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was an 80-20 chance. I mean, if you understand football, the Giants barely had a 1% chance of winning. That's your edge. So 20% of people thought the Giants that are 2-11 can actually beat the Patriots.
I'm not even defending that at all. Or I'm not against that at all. People are saying, oh, this is a gamble, so Robinhood shouldn't offer it. I'm like, why? Like they can do it and it can be called a gamble and it's fine. Let people do what they want with their money. That should be the platform.
But my point is when people say, oh, that's a 50-50 gamble, it's like, no, first of all, it's 20-80 and it might actually be 99-1, but it depends on whoever bought puts on Broadcom before earnings. I mean, they knew something that the rest of the market didn't because that stock's down 30%. And they had an edge in that scenario. Now, it's not binary, et cetera. If you bag hold Broadcom, it'll probably do well over the next 5 years. But the point is there is an edge. And that edge, the question becomes, from an ethical perspective, should we allow people to take advantage of an edge in sports, even if it's not options? And for all the moral and ethical concerns, I do not see the outrage over Robinhood allowing people to trade options, which, by the way, go to zero on the Friday that they expire. Or go much higher than zero.
Or 0-day options.
Yeah, that's a binary event. And tell me why there's no outrage over options. That's on Schwab, Fidelity, SoFi, but there's so much over sports betting. I don't understand.
That was one of those things where, and that's what Devin Ryan, he posted and commented on this too. He's very excited. Coinbase has something similar as well. That was basically his analogy was that we're so early in predictions markets, like when options were first kind of becoming a thing more than a decade ago for actual retail people. Robinhood really broke the ice on that and accelerated. But at the time, I wasn't doing individual personal investing just in nothing with options. But I remember outrage and concern and people saying this is not going to end well. And you see that time and time again. You saw that also when there was aftermarket and pre-market, when that was expanded out further as well. 24-hour markets very recently. People see it. Usually we'll see with this type of product a lot more risk than is actually there. One thing on the gambling side too is my pushback against it. If we're just saying risk is gambling, fine, but there's an established legal definition of gambling, and this product doesn't fit in that category. That's one of the reasons why Kalshi has been able to be in all 50 states, even though some states are pushing back on that. And I think there will be for sure more regulatory clarity as well. But yeah, it's technically and legally not gambling. Maybe in some states, I don't know the law in every single state, obviously, but yeah.
To your point, Roy, and this is the bearish case on this. I've talked to some people that they put a couple thousand games on a couple $1,000s on a basketball game that they never would have done that before, but it was so easy. It was in the app. They had access to their account balance, and so they're like, oh, I like this team. I'm going to bet $1,000 like that, and they probably majority of the time will lose unless you actually have that edge. Lose $1,000, that 1,000 could be compounded in the stock market. So that is where Robinhood's going to have to determine what's the risk reward to letting people lose that money.
I will just say, I think that people literally believe that in the sports betting world, people bet on the teams that they like because they're fans. Nobody does that. That's not what we do. That's not how this works. That's not what that is. It's not that.
So you would argue the majority of sports bettors are not just flipping a coin and they're actually trying to.
Hell no. Why would you do that? That's dumb. That's dumb.
I think some people do it for fun, but
at least not the majority of the actual dollar amounts.
I mean, legit, if you're doing that, I think I might have more fun in Vegas on a slot machine because they have at least lights and sirens and stuff that make loud noises. Over here, I just get to see my account balance go down. If that's what we're doing, that's not fun, man. But no, that's not what that's not what sports betting is or how it works, or that's just dumb. yeah, that's not the world. But can you do that? For sure you can. Can you bet on a, I think to your point, can you bet on an option like for earnings because you like the company? For sure you can. But that's
which a lot of us have done. I've done it many times.
That's just as much of a gamble as the other. So if you let one in, why wouldn't you let the other? I'm just imagining that Schwab CEO watching this go down right now today after that interview. Like, bro, did you guys see that? That Schwab CEO is like, by the way, watch this. In 6 months from now, watch Schwab list event contracts.
They will.
No,
Yeah.
like for real. IBKR's already got him, I'm pretty sure.
By the way,
like
Thomas Petterfee, the guy's worth like $80 billion, CEO and founder of IBKR. He said 2 days ago, prediction markets will become bigger than the equity markets in a conference call with UBS.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the point is, whether you ethically believe in this or not, the industry's it's going to happen with or without Robinhood. And so then it's just a question of, do they take advantage? And again, if you're so morally against this, I would just ask yourself to question your moral concerns about every investment you own and having your money on the platform itself. Because if you're supporting Robinhood with your assets, you're supporting people that are gambling on zero DTEs, which is pretty bad for mental health when they lose all their money in a day, in less than an hour, because they think the SPY is going to hit the 200-day moving average, right? Like, it's all in the same vein. But Robinhood's going to make money on it either way. So you have to ask yourself how much you care.
Yeah. Look, I think it's
I liked on this too was the cadence that, when they didn't just say, hey, these are coming at some point eventually. And if they just said next year's a long time, like this is coming in January. And also as oh, by the way, what you requested 2 months ago in Vegas, here it is. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude,
a lot of you.
The velocity at which they release products and just go to market with things,
it's insane.
Disgusting. Like,
they said 5 events this year. What was
they did that one with I forgot her name, but it was a live stream. They were introducing like the ladder options, so this is another thing that a lot of people were asking, that this event seemed a little like not energetic and stuff like that. Did you guys have any opinions on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. But like, it would have been, I feel like it was like almost rushed, but it wasn't the same caliber of the typical hood events. It was almost like we got to add this in. By the way, there were 2 empty seats dead center in the auditorium. Where's my invite, man? I would have been there.
Honestly, I think it was meant to be a live stream. Like, I don't think this was meant to be one of their main,
I think somebody called an audible there and made it happen. And I won't name names.
I think maybe a couple of weeks ago they were like, let's just do it in person and like make it a real experience. So it probably wasn't meant to be like a hood summit or anything.
Yeah,
I think we're probably spoiled with the amount of massive events that Hood has put on and amount of products that Hood has released. But who else is executing at this level besides what Palantir? Like, come on, like this is a special company. These guys operated at a whole nother level, and this is just the beginning. I think they're actually already bigger than most active trading brokerages, like in the equity trading percentage terms, like how you actually measure them. But I mean, look, there's a lot of stuff coming. What I didn't see anybody notice, but what was kind of neat about Cortex, sorry, I'm tangent. When that guy pulled up the like, why do I own this stock? He did it in the managed portfolio. So like, what do? We do like social arbitrage, who likes what stocks. Like, you're gonna be able to do that from their portfolio managers. Like, here's a managed portfolio. I can open it up. Why do you own this? What's your thesis? And then I can decide if I like this or not, and maybe tailor it to my own. That's kind of cool to be able to see that.
And then you've got Robinhood Social that they're going to integrate into Cortex probably as well. There's a lot of shit coming next year.
Dude, Robinhood Social, the possibility of having ad revenue with a social platform is just a free call option. Now that we're talking about options on Robinhood, like none of that kind of revenue is baked into this. Zero. So, I mean, yeah, I'm happy. 121, I'm good.
121, yeah, 120.90, 121. There we are after hours.
121.
Yeah. I'm still very bullish on Robinhood. Prediction markets are going to be a great ad. I completely agree. I think that this market's going to, 100x, 1000x.
See, I knew we were buddies. I knew we were going to.
Yeah, I'm not. And like people said, Tanner's going to be wrong. I'm like, what am I even going to be wrong on? I think the market's going to 1000x. I think that I'm going to use it for certain things. Like I said, I'd rather buy. Is SoFi going to beat on EPS than not? Because that's my edge. There's names in the equity markets that I think I would have an edge because I do a lot of research on where their EPS would be on.
I think this is definitely going to divide people morally once again on Hood. But the problem is every time there's a moral conundrum in the financial ecosystem with innovation, every broker / institution. I mean, JP Morgan, the guy, Jamie Dimon said he would never touch crypto, and they just launched a stablecoin on it.
I know, right?
So Robinhood has to. Yeah. We're talking about a stock that's trading at 30 times sales, 70 PE. Like if they do not keep up the growth, this stock gets destroyed. So they need to grow. This is the age of capitalism. This is the stock market. If you need to grow, you need to find your edge to grow. And this is a market where it kind of just fell into their lap, going from 0 to 30 million, 0 to 360 million annual run rate in less than a year. So of course they're going to double down on that and try to get that to a 3
Well,
billion.
not of course. That's not true, because other markets like this fall into people's laps all the time. But nobody has the ability or the reaction time. Not every company, many companies will run into opportunities probably similar, but not many are able to recognize it for what it is, shift, pivot, execute, plan, and continue to drive net new value out of it like Vlad and their team. That's special. To be able to recognize those kind of opportunities left and right and be able to capitalize on them in the instant and actually drive success through them.
Yeah.
That's not as common as people would think.
Yeah. It just seems like the credit card fell at the right time. Banking, EU, tokenization, this now prediction markets, options, crypto, it's just constant that they just keep stepping up their game, and it's just a matter of time. But
yeah,
I don't know which events are going to happen next year, but they're going to announce new verticals and enter into new spaces.
I'm just saying I've seen Amit post a TikTok or two. When Robinhood Social launches, girls, you could probably reach out. I think he's still single, but I bet you it's gonna be.
Can you imagine that turns into a dating app, dude?
The only way that Amit's gonna get his 3 kids is through Robinhood Social. You guys,
we matched on Palantir.
Yeah.
So you want to explore my ontology? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you can have the Palantir plugin right through Robinhood Social. These are your best bet. Swipe right, dude.
It's not a horrible idea, dude. Not a horrible.
Could you imagine though? Dude. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much opportunity. It's a one more lever. I like it. Look, we got playoffs coming. We got, NHL, NBA, March Madness.
It's going to be
World Cup, Olympics. Yeah. And, they've not launched this internationally, but I think next year that'll be, big piece. They might be waiting for that acquisition to be finalized before they actually start moving that way. But the UK launch has gotten real. They launched ISAs. That was the tax advantage product that's very popular. They're not SIPs yet, as far as I understand. They're running some promotions there pretty aggressively. And predictions markets are something that I think is going to grow very massively internationally as well for Robinhood. It might actually help fuel that ecosystem where people actually come, maybe less so in the United States, but internationally for the prediction, and they stay for the investing.
Where do you live, Roy?
Houston.
Oh, okay. Tanner's the one that doesn't have. If Tanner had the ability to use Robinhood, turned on your VPN, can you actually use it? I'm just curious. Tanner.
I think it's more on they want a social security number or something.
Yeah, he can't access it. But he may be able to
give Tanner an extra social security number. And
yeah, if you guys can get me one, I'll be on in a heartbeat. But they're actually probably going to come here earlier than we can get that social security number, because they ended up acquiring a company called WonderFi, which was a Canadian crypto exchange. And they, like, Vlad even tweeted at me saying, like, you said when we're coming to Canada type thing. So I think they're coming soon.
Yeah, some people are typing in there. Tanner doesn't use it. He can't yet. And previously, this is like a year ago, he said, yeah, he'd probably stick with Wealthsimple. I'm kind of curious, Tanner, with what you've seen out of Cortex and everything and others using it, would you make the switch when it's available?
Exact same answer. So if it rolled out the way that they rolled out to the UK, I'd stick with what we have here. If I had exactly what you guys have in the United States, I would switch.
In all fairness, like, as an active trader, I actually don't live on Robinhood. Like, we still have, like, most of us have, I actually use TD Ameritrade. I use Thinkorswim because there's not enough features in Robinhood, but I think it's a good entry point still. But I think everybody, even active traders, has multiple accounts kind of everywhere. And as Hood grows, like, Tanner will get a Hood app. He might put $10 in it, but just to see the experience, just to play around. Right. We might need to open up a fake account or something, like a little temporary
I
account.
just don't know if they're like, if they come to Canada, are they going to bring the credit card with them and have access to every single registered accounts and like all these, like, it's been a slow rollout in the UK. So I don't think it's going to be the exact same experience. That's the only thing. Am I going to get prediction markets and Cortex and all of these things, or is it just commission-free brokerage? I have that already.
Yeah. But I mean, Canada's a big market. I feel like it's a big market. I mean, TSX.
Yeah, it's like the size of California.
I mean, California's big.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just feel like there's a lot of, I mean, it's a different audience too, though. I feel like there's opportunity if they can do that. But that's like, I mean, basic and just approvals.
So there's still regulatory stuff, but the more that they do the international launches, and the AI, of course, certainly helps with it. Tokenization will help with this too. The faster, I think, that you'll see that cadence for international markets as well. So I don't think that the launch anywhere is going to be nearly as slow as what it was in the UK. But that's their first successful launch. We'll see how successful it is. Really, next year we'll get a good reading on that.
Yeah, but that's why like this stuff, Cortex, prediction markets is so exciting, because like all the other stuff launching in different countries, honestly, it'll come when it comes, and they'll be successful when they launch, and it's just a matter of regulations and things like that. I think that's that might be baked into the price a little bit, but it's these things that Vlad and team does, like a new lever here, a new lever there, brand new net new line of business over here. You're like, okay, that didn't have that on my bingo card this year. And it's like, I have two of them, right? Futures trading, option, whatever, right? Like Robinhood Social. I feel like Robinhood Social is going to be big, like big. And they're slow rolling that right now. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. And I'm really excited for Amit, because he's been living by himself for a long time. And, apparently he's having a party at his house in February. But, I think that one's the next event contract 2.0, which Robinhood Social might even be bigger than event contracts. Like, it should be bigger than event contracts, which is not a small thing.
Yeah.
Mitt, are you single? You sort of just laughed at that thing.
I have no idea.
He's not answering it clearly.
Yes, I am single.
You don't know that. We don't really. I mean, he's in constant state of being single. So
Yeah, I can believe it. There might not.
You got to fix your mic or something. You sound a little quiet.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
I was just saying, you can believe it or not, but my answer is yes.
I believe you. I just wanted to hear you say I am single. because I know no girl's gonna let you say that. So I believe you.
Well, to be fair,
Except for
they're
when
not-
he's at the dentist, then we know he's not single during the dentist visits.
Yeah.
But you know,
I legit am going to my dentist tomorrow, getting the crown. I'm like,
Oh man.
I've never seen someone get as much teeth work as like. I think you're just
but
going
look
back
at
to
those
visit.
poppers, dude. Those are nice little pearly whites there.
it's honestly not. It's been 3 times. It just feels like it happens so often. But yeah,
I got
Ours
one of
the
those in
last time.
January too. It's not fun, man.
no. All right, that's it. Thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate everyone taking the time. Last event
Appreciate
for
the
the year
invite, guys.
already. Yeah, of course. Everyone's links in the description. I put them in the chat as well. And I'll be live tomorrow. All these guys will be making their content throughout the week. Well, we will see you probably in, I would imagine the next event's going to be in February. So the next time they have an event, we'll cover it live in February.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one.